Imagine walking into a room, saying nothing, and yet your presence lingers in people's minds long after you've left. Imagine being the kind of person whose energy is felt before a word is spoken, someone who doesn't chase attention but effortlessly attracts it. Have you ever wondered why certain individuals stay in our thoughts without even trying? Why some people leave an impression that keeps us coming back to them, replaying conversations, feeling their presence even in their absence? It's not luck, it's not manipulation, it's an energy, a force that cannot be faked, only cultivated. It's the way they carry themselves, the way they exist so fully in their own world that others can't help but be drawn in. The secret isn't in trying harder. In fact, the more you try, the less powerful your presence becomes. The real key is in becoming someone who naturally stays on people's minds, not by force, but by the undeniable pull of who you are. Today, I will show you exactly how to cultivate that energy, that effortless magnetism, so that you no longer chase attention, it simply finds you. Attraction is not about chasing. It's about embodying a magnetic presence that naturally draws attention. Your energy speaks louder than words. Most people believe that to stay on someone's mind, they need to constantly remind them of their presence through texts, calls, interactions, or gestures. But in reality, the more effort you put into making someone think about you, the less effective it becomes. Why? Because effort rooted in neediness repels, while presence rooted in certainty attracts. The most powerful way to remain in someone's thoughts is to cultivate an energy so strong, so radiant, that it naturally lingers in their subconscious. Energy is the invisible force that speaks before words ever do. When you enter a room, before you utter a single sentence, people already feel something about you. It is not what you wear or how you look. It is the unspoken signal you send out through your thoughts, emotions, and self-perception. This is why two people can say the exact same words, but one captivates and the other is forgotten. Their energy, their presence makes the difference. Attraction at its core is about alignment, not pursuit. Think about the times when someone has occupied your mind effortlessly. It wasn't because they tried to make you think about them. It was because their energy resonated with you on a deep level. They had a presence that left an imprint, not because they were constantly reaching out, but because they carried something undeniable within them. This is the key to staying on someone's mind without trying. You must become the kind of person whose energy is unforgettable. To achieve this, you must first recognize that attraction is not created through words or actions alone, but through the state of being you cultivate within yourself. If you constantly seek attention or validation from another, your energy is operating from lack, and lack is repelling. When you feel the need to make someone think about you, you communicate insecurity, even if subtly. But when you shift your focus inward, when you become completely absorbed in your own growth, passion, and self-worth, your energy shifts from lack to abundance, and abundance is magnetic. The energy of abundance is not about having everything figured out. It's not about perfection. It's about a deep inner knowing that you are already enough, that you do not need to chase love or attention because you naturally attract what is aligned with you. When you embody this truth, you carry yourself differently. Your body language changes. Your voice carries more depth. Your presence is felt even when you are not physically present. People are drawn to those who are centered within themselves. When you cultivate this deep inner presence, you stop chasing. And in that stillness, you become the one who is pursued. It is the paradox of attraction. The less you try to control how others perceive you, the more powerful your presence becomes. You stop sending the energy of desperation and start emitting the energy of certainty. And certainty is unforgettable. Imagine the way a flame draws attention. It does not call out. It does not seek approval. It simply burns. And in its burning, it captivates. People are naturally drawn to it, mesmerized by its glow. Your energy works the same way. When you shift your focus from external validation to internal alignment, you begin to radiate an effortless magnetism that keeps you in someone's mind without effort. Now, consider the opposite. When someone tries too hard to be noticed, their energy feels forced. You can sense when someone is performing for attention rather than embodying their true self. There is a reason we remember those who are unapologetically themselves, those who carry a quiet confidence, those who are deeply engaged in their own lives. They have a presence that lingers because they are not trying to convince the world of their worth, they simply know it. At the core of this concept is a fundamental shift in perception. Instead of thinking, how can I make them think about me? Shift to, how can I become the kind of person who naturally stays in their mind? The answer is not in chasing, it is in being fully present in your own life, being deeply in love with who you are, being so aligned with your true self that others cannot help but take notice. When you understand this, you stop seeking attention and instead cultivate presence. You stop trying to be remembered and instead become unforgettable. You no longer rely on words or actions to keep someone thinking about you because your energy, your essence, speaks louder than anything you could ever say. The power of unshakable self-worth is the foundation of true attraction. People remember those who carry themselves with confidence, certainty, and authenticity. It is not about arrogance or proving oneself. It is about an internal knowing that you are enough, exactly as you are. This deep sense of self-worth is what makes someone unforgettable, not through effort, but through presence. When you walk into a room, before you speak a word, your energy already communicates how you see yourself. The way you hold yourself, the way you move, the way you engage with the world, these are all reflections of your inner belief system. Most people seek validation externally. They want others to affirm their worth, to reassure them that they are important, desirable, or significant. But the problem with external validation is that it is fleeting and unreliable. The moment someone withdraws attention, doubt creeps in. True self-worth, however, is internal and unshakable. It does not waver based on how someone else perceives you because it is rooted in your own sense of value. When you embody this level of self-creativity, you become magnetic. Not because you are trying to be, but because people are drawn to the energy of someone who knows their worth. People do not remember those who try too hard to impress them. They remember those who make them feel something powerful. And the most powerful presence is one that radiates confidence without the need for validation. When someone meets you and senses that you are completely comfortable in your own skin, that you do not need their approval to feel whole, they are impacted in a way that stays with them. They think about you not because you forced them to, but because your energy left an imprint on their subconscious. The reason self-worth is so powerful is that it dictates how you behave, how you communicate, and how you interact with the world. When you believe in yourself at a deep level, you do not settle for less than you deserve. You do not beg for attention or chase after people who are not aligned with you. This level of certainty is what makes you unforgettable. The paradox of attraction is that the less you seek approval, the more people are drawn to you. Desperation repels, but confidence attracts. Think about the individuals who leave a lasting impression. They are not the ones who constantly try to prove their worth. They are the ones who simply embody it. They do not seek to be liked, they simply are. This is why the most magnetic people are those who have nothing to prove. Their energy is calm, secure, and unwavering. When you cultivate this within yourself, you naturally stand out without trying. Most people operate from a place of conditional self-worth. They feel good about themselves only when others acknowledge them, when they receive attention, when they feel wanted. But conditional self-worth is fragile. It places control in the hands of others and makes you dependent on external circumstances. The key to becoming unforgettable is to cultivate unconditional self-worth, a deep internal knowing that you are valuable no matter what. This shifts everything. Your energy changes, the way you carry yourself changes, the way people perceive you changes. You no longer grasp for attention because you are the source of it. This does not mean you become detached or indifferent. It means you operate from a place of self-assurance. When you walk into a space, you do not need to demand attention. Your presence naturally commands it. People notice you not because you are the loudest or the most flamboyant, but because your energy is undeniable, and energy never lies. The mind remembers experiences that evoke emotions, and nothing is more powerful than the emotion of presence. When someone meets a person with unshakable self-worth, they feel it. They sense the certainty, the ease, the quiet confidence. It stays with them because it is rare. Most people are unsure of themselves, constantly seeking approval, constantly adjusting their energy to fit in. But when you are rooted in self worth, you do not adapt to be liked. You simply exist in your truth. This level of self assurance is not built overnight. It requires inner work. It requires examining and rewiring old beliefs that make you feel unworthy. It requires a shift from seeking external validation to cultivating internal certainty. But when you do this, you become the kind of person who naturally stays in someone's mind, not because you are trying to, but because your presence itself is unforgettable. Emotional resonance is the invisible force that keeps you in someone's mind long after you have left the room. People do not remember words as much as they remember the way you made them feel. It is not about what you say or do, it is about the emotional imprint you leave behind. Every interaction, every conversation, every shared experience creates an emotional signature. That signature determines whether you are easily forgotten or whether you linger in someone's thoughts effortlessly. The brain is wired to hold on to emotions more than logic. This is why certain people leave a lasting impression without even trying. When someone evokes a deep emotional response in us, whether it is joy, curiosity, admiration, or even mystery, their presence imprints itself on our subconscious. On the other hand, those who do not trigger any strong emotions fade into the background. This is why the key to staying on someone's mind is not found in constant reminders or forced interactions, but in creating an emotional impact that is strong enough to remain long after the moment has passed. Every time you interact with someone, you are programming their subconscious perception of you. If you create a feeling of excitement, warmth, or inspiration, their mind will naturally revisit those emotions whenever they think of you. If your presence brings a sense of calm and deep connection, they will crave that energy even when you are not around. This happens because the human brain forms associations between people and the way they make us feel. We are drawn to those who elevate our emotional state and distance ourselves from those who drain or bore us. The secret to creating emotional resonance lies in presence. When you are fully present with someone, truly engaged, deeply listening, responding with authenticity, you create a moment that feels real and significant. In a world where most people are distracted, where conversations are often surface level, depth is rare, and what is rare is valuable. When you make someone feel seen, heard, and understood on a deep level, they remember you, not because you asked them to, but because their subconscious cannot ignore the emotional impact you created. People are naturally drawn to emotions that elevate their state of being. This is why laughter, passion, and enthusiasm are so magnetic. When you embody these emotions, you create an experience that someone wants to revisit. You do not need to be the loudest person in the room, but you do need to be the one who brings an undeniable presence, one that adds something valuable to the moment. This could be through the way you make someone feel appreciated, the way you inspire them to see things differently, or the way you create a sense of ease and comfort in your presence. On the other end of the spectrum, people also remember mystery and depth. When someone cannot fully figure you out, their mind continues to engage with the idea of you. Humans are naturally curious, and we are drawn to things that challenge us or make us think. If you are someone who carries an aura of depth, someone who is not completely predictable, someone who has layers that are not immediately revealed, you create an emotional intrigue that keeps you on their mind. This does not mean playing games or being intentionally distant, but rather allowing yourself to be someone who is constantly growing, evolving, and offering new dimensions to be discovered. The mistake many people make is trying too hard to impress rather than focusing on connection. True impact does not come from what you say to impress, but from what you say to connect. Superficial interactions are forgettable because they lack emotional weight, but moments where someone feels genuinely moved, whether through laughter, deep conversation, or shared experience, become imprinted in their subconscious. It is important to understand that emotions are contagious. The energy you bring into an interaction is the energy that stays with the other person. If you bring excitement, joy, and passion, those emotions linger. If you bring insecurity, neediness, or anxiety, that too leaves an imprint. This is why mastering your own emotional state is essential. You cannot create an emotional impact in others if your own energy is inconsistent or dependent on external validation. But when you cultivate a strong internal world, when you become someone who naturally radiates a compelling emotional presence, you do not need to force yourself into anyone's mind. You remain there effortlessly because the experience of you is something they do not want to forget. Detachment is the key to influence, and the paradox of attraction is that the less you try to control someone's attention, the more you receive it. When you hold on too tightly, when you constantly seek validation or reassurance, you create an energy of resistance. The very act of trying to stay on someone's mind often pushes them further away. The reason for this is simple. People are drawn to freedom, confidence, and ease. When you let go of the need to be remembered, when you release attachment to a specific outcome, you become more attractive, not less. The mind is wired to chase what seems just out of reach. This is not about manipulation, but about understanding human nature. When something is overly available, when someone constantly seeks attention or tries too hard to be noticed, the subconscious mind registers it as less valuable. But when something or someone carries an air of independence and self-sufficiency, the mind assigns a higher value to them. This is why the most magnetic people are often those who are deeply engaged in their own lives, not those who are preoccupied with seeking validation. Detachment is not about being cold or indifferent. It is about inner security, about knowing that your worth does not depend on whether someone is thinking about you. When you reach this level of certainty, you stop trying to control how others perceive you. You stop overanalyzing every interaction, wondering if you said the right thing, if they will call, if they will remember you. Instead, you shift your focus back to yourself, your growth, your purpose, your passions. And in that shift, something interesting happens. You naturally become more intriguing, more memorable, because you are no longer operating from need. There is a reason why we often think about people who are not actively seeking our attention. It is not because they are playing games or withholding affection, but because their energy carries an element of independence. They are not waiting for us to validate them, and that makes them more compelling. The mind tends to revisit unresolved experiences, and when someone is not overly available, we naturally begin to wonder about them. This is why detachment creates influence. It leaves space for curiosity to develop, for attraction to grow organically. People remember those who make them feel something strong, but they also remember those who do not demand anything from them. When someone is too attached to an outcome, whether it is wanting to be noticed, liked, or remembered, that energy is felt. It creates pressure, and pressure is rarely attractive. But when someone carries themselves with a deep sense of security, when they are fully present in interactions but unattached to the outcome, they create an effortless pull. Their energy is calm, confident, and magnetic. Detachment also frees you from overthinking. When you are constantly trying to craft the perfect response, when you are overly focused on making someone think about you, your energy becomes heavy. You start to lose the natural ease that makes interactions enjoyable. But when you let go, when you trust that the right people will naturally gravitate toward you, your presence becomes lighter. You are able to enjoy the moment rather than trying to control it. This ease is what makes people want to be around you more. Another powerful aspect of detachment is that it allows you to remain true to yourself. When you are overly attached to someone's perception of you, you start adjusting your behavior to fit what you think they want. You may suppress parts of your personality, hold back your true thoughts, or seek to please rather than express yourself authentically. But when you are detached, you operate from a place of inner truth. You show up as yourself without fear of rejection. And this authenticity is what truly makes someone unforgettable. Many people believe that in order to be remembered, they need to be constantly present, always reinforcing their connection. But in reality, space creates desire. When you allow for pauses, when you are not always available, when you are content in your own world, you create an opening for someone to miss you. You give them the chance to think about you on their own, rather than forcing yourself into their thoughts. This is how true influence is created, not by chasing, but by allowing space for attraction to build naturally. Detachment is ultimately about trust, trust in yourself, trust in your energy, trust that you do not need to control everything in order to be valued. When you carry this deep inner trust, when you know that your presence alone is enough, you naturally become someone who stays on others' minds. Not because you are trying to, but because your energy is one that lingers. The power of mystery lies in the human mind's deep attraction to the unknown. People are naturally drawn to what they cannot fully understand, to things that spark their curiosity, and to experiences that leave them wanting more. The reason certain individuals stay on our minds effortlessly is not because they reveal everything about themselves, but because they give just enough to intrigue us, while maintaining an air of depth. When someone is an open book, fully predictable and easily understood, the mind quickly registers them as familiar and stops actively engaging with them. But when there is a sense of mystery, when there is always more to discover, the mind remains captivated, replaying interactions, searching for meaning, and wondering what lies beneath the surface. Mystery is not about playing games or withholding for the sake of control. It is about cultivating a presence that is layered, that is constantly evolving, and that invites curiosity. When you are completely transparent, when you reveal everything about yourself too quickly, you remove the element of anticipation. Anticipation is what keeps people engaged. It is what makes a story compelling, what makes a journey exciting, what makes an experience unforgettable. When you embody this in your interactions, you create an energy that keeps people thinking about you, not because you are forcing yourself into their minds, but because their mind naturally seeks to understand you more. Think about the people who have stayed on your mind the longest. Chances are they were not the ones who laid out every detail of their lives within the first meeting. They were the ones who had an energy that made you want to know more. Maybe it was the way they spoke, the way they carried themselves, the depth in their eyes, or the way they shared just enough about themselves to make you wonder what else there was. This is the essence of mystery, leaving space for curiosity, allowing room for discovery, and understanding that attraction thrives in the unknown. Most people, in an effort to be liked or remembered, overshare. They believe that the more they reveal, the more connected someone will feel to them. But true connection is not built on an excess of information. It is built on emotional engagement. When someone feels like they have already figured you out, their mind no longer needs to engage with you. But when there is a sense that there is more to learn, more to experience, more to uncover, their mind continues to revisit the thought of you. The key to cultivating mystery is to be deeply engaged in your own life. When you are constantly growing, learning, and evolving, you naturally become someone with layers. Your energy carries depth, not because you are trying to be mysterious, but because you are genuinely immersed in things that expand your mind and your being. People are drawn to those who are not stagnant, to those who have an air of unpredictability, not in a way that feels chaotic, but in a way that feels exciting. When you are someone who always has new insights, new experiences, and new perspectives, you naturally create an aura that keeps people intrigued. Mystery is also about how you communicate. It is not about being secretive, but about understanding the power of leaving things open-ended. Instead of giving every detail, you allow space for imagination. Instead of always explaining yourself, you let your actions and presence speak. Instead of rushing to fill silence, you become comfortable in it. The way you tell a story, the way you answer a question, the way you carry yourself in a conversation, all of these things contribute to the level of intrigue you create when you reveal just enough to spark curiosity, but hold back enough to maintain depth. You create an effect that keeps people engaged. Another important aspect of mystery is unpredictability. When someone always knows what to expect, when their interactions with you follow the same pattern, there is little room for excitement. But when you are someone who is full of surprises, not in a dramatic or forced way, but in a way that reflects your dynamic nature, you keep people engaged. Maybe it's the way you bring up unexpected but thought provoking conversation. Maybe it's the way you approach life with a sense of adventure. Maybe it's the way you show up differently than expected. Not because you are being inauthentic, but because you are a multidimensional being. This unpredictability keeps you on someone's mind because their brain continues to seek patterns, continues to try to understand you, continues to be engaged in the experience of you. The reason mystery is so powerful is that it aligns with how the mind works. The human brain is wired to focus on what it cannot fully grasp. This is why we get lost in books that keep us guessing, in music that evokes a feeling we can't quite describe, in art that leaves us wondering about its deeper meaning. The same applies to human connection. When you carry an essence that cannot be fully understood in one encounter, you naturally remain in someone's thoughts. You become an experience rather than just a person, something that cannot be easily categorized, something that invites curiosity and engagement. And in this space of curiosity, attraction thrives. Energetic alignment is the unseen force that determines the depth and longevity of connections. It is the frequency you emit, the silent language your presence speaks, and the way your inner world influences how others perceive you. People do not remember words as much as they remember energy. When you enter a space, before you even speak, your energy has already made an impression. The way you feel about yourself, your life, and your purpose radiates outward, shaping how others respond to you. If your energy is abundant, self assured, and at peace, you become a presence that lingers in people's minds, not because you force yourself to be remembered, but because your frequency leaves an imprint on their subconscious. Attraction is not just about appearance, charm, or the right words. It is about resonance. When two energies align, there is a natural pull, a connection that feels effortless. When someone meets you and their energy harmonizes with yours, they will think about you not because you tried to make them, but because their subconscious has registered you as significant. This is why some people remain unforgettable while others are easily forgotten. It is not about trying harder. It is about aligning your energy with the version of yourself that naturally draws in the kind of attention you seek. Your energy is a direct reflection of your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs. If you carry insecurity, self doubt, or fear, that energy is felt, even if you try to mask it with confidence. On the other hand, when you move through life with certainty, ease, and an inner knowing that you are enough, people respond to that without even realizing why. This is why inner work is essential. If you want to stay on someone's mind effortlessly, it starts with the energy you cultivate within yourself. The more you embody peace, confidence, and authenticity, the more you create an energetic signature that is hard to forget. People are drawn to those who make them feel a certain way. When your energy is uplifting, when your presence is a space of inspiration, ease, or deep connection, others naturally want to be around you. They replay interactions with you not because of what you said, but because of how your energy made them feel. This is why it is so important to be intentional about the energy you bring into interactions. If you approach people with an energy of lack, desperation, or neediness, they will associate you with that frequency and subconsciously distance themselves. But if you approach people with an energy of wholeness, confidence, and abundance, you become someone whose presence they crave, even when you are not around. The mind is wired to remember experiences that evoke strong emotions. If your energy sparks excitement, inspiration, or deep resonance, you become an experience rather than just a person. This is why people who are fully engaged in their passions, who radiate joy and fulfillment, naturally attract attention without trying. Their energy is vibrant, alive, and compelling. When you embody this, you do not need to seek validation or try to stay on someone's mind. Your presence alone makes you unforgettable. The secret to energetic alignment is being deeply connected to yourself. When you know who you are, when you operate from a place of authenticity rather than seeking approval, your energy becomes magnetic. People are drawn to those who are unapologetically themselves, those who do not shrink to fit in or modify their essence to please others. This level of self trust creates an aura that leaves an impact. It is not about impressing people, it is about radiating an energy that they cannot ignore. Another key aspect of energetic alignment is emotional regulation. When your energy is inconsistent, When you are constantly shifting between confidence and doubt, peace and anxiety, you create an unstable frequency that others pick up on. But when you cultivate a steady, grounded presence, when your energy remains calm and assured, regardless of external circumstances, you create a space that people feel safe and drawn to. They may not be able to explain why, but they will remember you because your energy made them feel something different, something rare. Your energy also shapes the way you perceive yourself, which in turn influences how others see you. If you believe you are unforgettable, if you truly feel that your presence carries value, that belief translates into reality. The way you walk, the way you speak, the way you engage with the world all shift when you operate from a place of certainty. And that certainty is what makes people remember you. The subconscious mind picks up on confidence and self assurance, even in the smallest of details, the way you hold eye contact, the way you listen, the way you express yourself. All of these elements create an energetic imprint that stays with people long after you have left. The key to staying on someone's mind is not found in strategies, tactics, or trying harder. It is found in becoming someone whose energy is so aligned, so complete within itself, that people cannot help but be drawn to it. When you focus on elevating your own frequency, when you move through life with authenticity, joy, and purpose, you naturally become someone who lingers in thoughts, not because you are forcing yourself into someone's awareness, but because your energy has made an impression that cannot be ignored. The truth is, staying on someone's mind isn't about chasing their attention, constantly proving your worth, or trying to be unforgettable. It's about becoming a person so deeply connected to themselves, so confident in their own presence, that others can't help but feel their energy long after they've gone. It's about living a life that excites you, embodying a frequency that inspires, and allowing mystery, detachment, and alignment to work in your favor. When you stop trying to be remembered and start focusing on becoming the highest version of yourself, everything shifts. You no longer operate from neediness or fear. Instead, you become a presence that commands attention effortlessly. People are drawn to those who are whole, who exude an energy of abundance, and who leave space for curiosity and desire to grow. So today, walk with the confidence that you don't need to force yourself into anyone's thoughts. Your energy alone will do the work. Align yourself with growth, with purpose, and with an unshakable sense of self, and watch as the right people remember you without you even trying. Good luck on your journey to becoming unforgettable. Thank you for your time, and may your presence always leave a lasting impact.